dear friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration. And you see already, everything is on the table again, my blocks, and of course I use the smaller tumbling towel blocks, my container with everything inside, some scissors, markers, brushes, of course some mud pot, some twine, and of course my wood glue. And it's a very easy and cheap brand, but use any brand you have in your stores, because only make sure that you don't pay too much. Of course, I have here, for example, just a container with my paint, but choose any color you like. I have here my saucer with my old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet to wipe away the glue. These are the main pieces we need for this DIY. And what we're going to make, we are going to make a witch's head. And of course, I'm going to try to make a witch's head planter. So we will see how this will turn out. I really have no idea because I never made a witch's head from tumbling towel blocks. So we will see how this will turn out. So the first step, what we're going to do is we're going to make the bottom. We have 4 rows of 6 blocks, so very easy. We're going to glue the smallest line of the block. So you just row them together. Very easy, like we do a lot on this channel. It is always gluing in a row. We are going to squeeze it, we're going to press it down, we're going to wipe away the glue. I think a lot of you who are here already for a long time, they can really dream it. I say it a lot, you can dream, dream with me, but you really can. But of course, I always hope to give you a little inspiration and a little bit of unique inspiration so you can make it for your own. And of course, this is for Halloween, but it is not the scary Halloween. It's a little bit like the kind Halloween. I always say you have some scariness and you have some cute Halloween, I always say. So I like a little bit more of the cute Halloween. We have Halloween over here. We don't decorate for Halloween a lot here in the Netherlands, but we have, of course, the Halloween days here for weeks in it's called Walibi Holland. So we have them over here also, but not so much as a lot of countries are doing, but we get it more and more and more, because also here in the stores are even more skeletons and more witches and that kind of thing. So we have it more and more. So we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to turn this on the side and we place 3 of them over here and over here. And now we're going to do some glue on the top side. And of course, it is not totally dry yet because wood glue needs a little bit more time to dry, but it is settling in, I always say. So you can work with it, and even when it falls apart, it doesn't matter. Just place it together, press it, and it will work fine, because you can always redo it. Now we're going to go from the ending. Very gently we're going to squeeze it in, so we make sure that we fill in the open gaps over here. Like this. And we're going to give this a couple of minutes drying. So in the meantime, while our little plank is drying, we're going to do some 2 rows of 4 blocks. So very easy, we're going to do some glue on the tops, because we want to give the bottom a little bit of a high-end look, so it looks a little bit thicker. So this is already one. Now one on the top over here, and one over here, and one over here. And we're going to squeeze it, and we do here the same. And we're going to wipe away the glue, and this way. And we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So I waited a couple of minutes. I'm going to have my 2 pieces. I'm going to have my plank over here. We're going to do on the ending, we're going to do some glue. And we're going to place this one on top of here at the ending very nicely. And we're going to do here the same. We're going to make a line with glue and we place this one over here. And we're going to make sure that we have it in a straight line, and we're going to wipe away, of course, the glue on the sides, and then feel again if you still are in the place you need to be. This one needs to go a little bit more to the outside. And again, we're going to feel with the fingers, and then we're going to let this dry in for at least a half hour. So now we have on our table 10 pieces of 3, so 10 rows of 3 blocks, and we're going to make now kind of the planter idea, just a simple a rounding, and we're going to place this on the bottom so we get a nice kind of a crate on top of here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I miss already one block. You see already over here, and of course I need to do this one this way. And this one now already have one side of the box. Now we're going to make side number 2. That's why we need 10 rows of 3. And this is already side number 2. And again, and now we only need the shortest sides. And this is 1 of 3. And this is 1 of 3. So again, very easy. We're going to squeeze them together this way. We're going to squeeze this one, and so we go on with all of the blocks and give it some pressure. Make sure that you have a straight line because it has to glue together, so we don't want that we get crooked sides. So again, we're going to wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave now our 10 pieces a couple of minutes drying. We're going to turn them this way and this way and this way and this way. And now we're going to do with 3, we're going to do some glue on the top over here, and we row them together, and this 4. So you row 4 pieces of 3 together very gently. Give it some squeeze on the sides so to fill in the open gaps. Like it. Make sure that you keep the sides straight, because it will happen if you're going to squeeze it that you don't squeeze one block too much. Always feel on the side that it has a straight line. We're going to do here some on the tops, and I know they are not totally dry always, but just glue them together again and you are fit to go. Again, we're going to give it some gentle squeeze from the side, and you see already easy is filling in the open gaps. I'm going to wipe away the glue, and this one we're going to let loose. We're going to give these 2 pieces a couple of minutes rest. So now we're going to place them straight up, and this one straight up. What we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on the side. Make sure that you have this block in the same length like you have this one, and you don't have it this way because it also can be, it doesn't matter, because if you have 3 blocks it is the same measurement, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which side. It doesn't matter which side. So again, this one we're going to place this over here against here. We do here the same on this side and on this side, and we're going to place this one over here, and we're going to fill in with this one, and very gently you're going to give it a little bit of pressure, not too much, and you're going to let it settle in for a little moment. So you see, I let this little box dry in for a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do, I did get my bottom, and I'm going to turn it over that I have it this way. If you have it this way, then it's fine. You just make kind of a standing bottom. We're going to do some glue on this side, but we could try to keep it on the inside of the box. Then it doesn't get too much glue on the outside, at least I hope that it doesn't. So now we're going to turn this over and we place this on top. Of course, we have to look that we have the 3 blocks inside. Oh my, I have to look where I am. I don't even see where I am. This is where I need to be. Of course, make sure that you have it in a straight line with the sides. And now we're going to give it some pressure. a little like this. And now you already have a kind of a box like this way. And we're going to again give it a little bit of pressure, not too much, because most of the time it's not totally dry yet. If you have some glue spilling out, just get a small brush like this one and just go and make a small line over here and wipe it away. And if you do it on this side, the same. And then you're going to place it aside to let it dry. And now we're going to do the next step, and the next step will be, I have to reach for it. I printed out on Google a witch's head. Of course, it's not totally the size I need, but it is 20 centimeters. That is the 4 blocks. Always make sure, because the height of your the back side and the front side of your box you just made, the planter, is 4 blocks long. So don't go outside the 4 blocks. Always use your 4 blocks as a measurement like this. Just place them loose against each other this way. Then you always know that this is the measurement. You can go outside, or else your witch's head will be on the outside of your box. So I'm going to cut this one out, and then I'm going to look how many blocks I need to make the witch's head, because I don't want to spill blocks. So I'm going to cut this one out. So, and you see already I did have to change a little bit my witch's head, because he has to be inside. Oh, you see already I wanted to show you, but it has to be in the inside, and maybe the white color is better to look for. And you see he is exactly inside of my 4 blocks, and then you can do any head you like. I did choose this one, but if you are a great drawer, you also can draw your own head. You can change it up any way you like. So I'm going to go for this shape, and of course I know I have to saw. For everyone who doesn't have a jigsaw or maybe a handsaw, I hope you can ask your husband or maybe your friend or someone else that he can saw it out for you, because with a jigsaw it's so easy to do, because you really have it. I use from the Lidl, the Park side, and of course it's so easy to use, especially for us ladies. But of course we are also just as strong as men are, so I'm always using my Park side. So I'm going to figure out now with my blocks. So I'm going to lay very easy. I'm going to lay my blocks on top of here, and I'm going to look for how many I'm going to need for all the rows I need. You get from me in a moment the measurements we're going to need. So now you have on the table, we have the rows we need for 1 witch's head. Of course, you can only do 1 witch's head on the back side of your crate. Then you don't have to make 2. You only have to make 1. So that's also an option. I don't know if I go for 1 or if I go for 2. I have to look for. The first row is 12 blocks. So this is a row of 12. Then you have 2 of 10, you have 1 of 9, and you have 1 of 7. That means that we try to work a little bit with the blocks and the rows to get it as nicely for the head, because we don't want to spill too many blocks. So 12, 2 of 10, 1 of 9, and 1 of 7. And so we're going to do very easy. Don't worry, I'm not going to do everything together with you. We're going to glue the smallest line on the side, and we row them together very easy until one big piece. I only do this one together with you. So like this, and already number 10 and number 11 and number 12 is of course the closure of. So again like this, and we're going to make one straight line, and we're going to give some pressure from the sides. We're going to wipe away the glue like this and go back and make sure that you have a straight line, and let it rest for at least a couple of minutes. So now we have our 5 rows. Of course, we're going to start with the one of 12. We're going to lay it down, and you see already this one is for the underside of the head. So we're going to place this aside. Then we go for number 10, a piece of 10, we're going to look for where we want to have it, because the head still needs to be inside of here. So we're going to place this on the side. We're going to do some glue. It is a little bit tricky, but we want to use as less blocks as we can. We're going to place it down and we're going to look for where we want to have it. Over here. And here he is still fitting inside, so we're going to give it some pressure. Over here. This is already number 1 of the pieces. Now we're going to go further. We place it in here. And we're going to go now to step number 3. And again, we go over here. And we go for number 7. And we're going to look for, if number 7 is maybe a little like this, over here. So we're going to place this one on the side also. We're going to do some glue. And of course, if some pieces are too short, you just glue 1 block extra on it. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to look for where I need to have it. And a little to the right, over here. And this way. And now I'm going to give it some pressure again. Wipe away the glue. And now we're going to go for a row number 10. We have to be sure that this one is fitting inside, and he is over here. And now we have number 10. And again, of course, we have to go to the outside more. I think this is number 9. So we're going to go for this side. You see already, this one and this one needs to be over here. This is very easy to find. We have to go a little to the outside. So kind of this, I think. This one can go a little to here. I think this one is here and this one needs to go a little here. So, and then we are, so this one is easy. Place this one on the side, only glue. This kind of blocks, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. Like this, because this one is also 7 blocks. Place it down. And we're going to do it in a straight line with this one. Again, so we are already 1 step further. And of course, if you want to make the second width set, it's very easy. You just make this one and draw the other one over and you can sew it out easy. So again, we're going to go for this one. I have to look for over here. I think 1 after here. Yeah, I already see it. So we're going to glue all 8 pieces and we leave 1 open because this one will be falling out. So over here, and if everything is correctly, we can easily fill in the open gaps because we want to be sure that we have a nice piece. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying, of a couple of minutes, at least an hour drying. How can I say a couple of minutes? Only an hour. And if it may be a 1.5 hours, also fine too. So we are going to let this dry in. So I let mine dry. What I'm going to do, I was thinking, of course, 2 is nice to do, but I think if you do 2, you have also on the front side of your box, of your planter, you have 1 big head, and then you don't see. I think I'm going to make a broom instead of another piece of another head. So I think I'm going to go for make my own broom for the front side. I think that looks better. Then it looks more like Halloween. So I'm going to choose for 1 head. So I'm going to place mine on top of here. And of course, if everything is correctly, I can get my pencil and I can easily, you see already, go over it and go make my lines over here. So I can easily get my jigsaw and saw it out. So you see, this is very easy to do. And I always make this kind of place because I want to be sure And later I make the line a little better because you know me, I'm a little old lady, so I'm going to make sure that the line is a little bit thicker when I'm going to get my jigsaw, because I want to know where I'm going to sew it. Of course over here, and I'm going to make sure the point over here. And it is not really bad if you have it a little wider or maybe a little thinner. Only make sure that on the underside you have to be in the between the 4 blocks. I hope this makes sense. I am hearing myself and I hope I explained it well. If you have questions, just let me know in the comments down below, but I think you will know a little how to work with the blocks. So I have now my piece on top of here, and I'm going to make with my marker a little bit of the thicker line. So this is how the head is looking like. Now I made the lines a little bit thicker. Before I'm going to sew it out, like I told you, I'm going to make the base first from our broom, because I want to be sure that this is dry also. For every layer of the stick of the broom, we need 4 rows of 2, but we're going to do it 4 high. That means that we need again 4 rows of 2. So very easy. Of course, I should have done this earlier before you are going to see this, this one. And normally I do, but you see already, was not prepared. I just wanted to show you my head, and I already did the camera on. And now the last one, and now we have all of them. So this way. So now we have enough sets for the stick of the broom. So we have 12 pieces of 2, and we're going to do very easy. Just on the longest line, you just place them together. Very simple. And I'm going to do the other one, of course, a little bit faster. I only do this row together with you. So now we have our 12 pieces of 2. We are going to do some glue on the outside. We're going to place a 1 against here. It's easy. This is just how you make a nice easy box. And this will be, number 2 will be against here. And this one you do some glue on the side and on the inside on the smallest line. And then you're going to place it over here, and if everything is correctly, all the sides have now some little bit of glue, and you're going to make sure that you keep it in place for a little moment, and then we're going to let this dry in. So now I only do 1 together extra with you. This is just some glue on the side. You get another block, you place it against each other this way, you give it a little bit of pressure. You get another one of 2, you do some glue on the side, you turn it a little and do it on this side, on the inside, give it some pressure, and this one you do some glue on this side and on the inside of the smaller side, and you are going to turn it around, and everything has a little glue on the sidelines. You just turn it, give it some pressure, and like this, and we're going to wipe away a little bit of the glue, not too much, because or else your square is going out of each other. Just let it rest and wipe away later the glue. So this is number 2. I do 3 and 4 a little faster. So now we have our 4 little squares. What we're going to do, we're just going to build them on top of each other. We do some glue over here, and we place this one on top. We do some glue over here, and we place this one on top, and we do here the same, some glue, and we place this one on top. So we get 1 broomstick, and it looks now not like a broomstick, but later it will, don't worry. At least I hope. And this is just always try to improvise with what you have, because of course we normally don't have a broomstick and we want to make it a little bit different than normally. So we're going to let this dry in for a little moment, and then we're going to get our hot glue. So we gave it a couple of minutes drying. What we're going to do, I'm going to get my hot glue, and I'm going to make some little things on the side of my broomstick, of course, because the broomstick is never even. So I'm going to give it a little bit, some dots, some lines. It doesn't matter. You just do whatever you think is right. It doesn't matter what you do, at least when your glue gun is doing it, or else nothing happens. I'm just going to show you how it's not done like this. And you just make some lines over here and some extra dots. It doesn't matter, just make sure that you just do something to it before you're going to paint it. And of course I'm going to let this dry in before I'm going to do the other side. So I'm going to go for all four. I hope you can see it a little bit. And if you're going to paint it, then it gives a nice structure to your broomstick, and you can do it as thick as you like. You, of course, mine have to warm up a little, so then you can do also a little bit of the thicker lines. So just go ahead, and then you're going to let it dry. So you see, this is how it's turned out, and you just get a kind of texture on top of your piece. And we're going to let this dry because we're going to paint everything in once. Now I'm going to get my witch's head, and I'm going to cut it out. And here you see how the witch's head is turned out. Of course, this one is an easy shape to do with your jigsaw, because it doesn't matter if you make a turn over here or you make a turn somewhere else. With the witch's head, you can do a lot of things. Only you have to make sure that you keep this side in your head, that it has to be 4 blocks wide, especially for this size. What we're going to do, I'm going to get my hot glue before I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to make a kind of a web. So I'm going to make a little dot in the middle, and I'm going to make a line this way. I'm going to make a line this way and over here, a little bit like a thing, and we're going to turn it. I'm going to do it this way, and this one a little bit longer, like kind of a spider web. Of course, we go over here, and this one we do also a little bit longer, and we go just over it. And to make sure that we fill in all the pieces, this one can be a little longer. And then we're going to let it dry in for a little moment. And maybe I can show it to you a little bit closer. I hope you can see it. Oh, this is difficult to see, I think. Now, at least I hope you can see it. So I'm going to give it a couple of seconds rest. And then I'm going to fill it in with half rounds on top of here, to give it kind of look like it is kind of a spider web. So now I have my spider web. I hope you can see it through the lights. What I'm going to do right now we are ready to paint our pieces. If everything's correctly, you have one witch's head, you have one box like this, and you already have the steel of the stick of the broom. Later we're going to make this further, but first we're going to paint all of this. I'm going to paint this too in the black color, and of course the witch's stick we're going to do in the brown, but I'm going to start with the black. So, and I'm going to use my black schoolboard paint. So I'm going to go over my spider web and make sure that everything is painted nicely also in between. And this way, just take your time for it, of course. And then later, I hope you can see the spider web a little bit better. And you can also place a little spider on top of here. I don't know if I have a little spider. I have big ones, but I don't know if I have smaller ones, but we will see. But at least it looks very nice if you have a kind of a spider web on top. And later we're going to do some little dots over here in orange. But we do that in a moment. First, I'm going to take my time to paint everything in the black color. So like I told you, now I'm going to do the stick of the broom. I'm going to do in the brown color. So I'm just going to place some brown on top of here. At least I try to do it, but my piece is almost already of my paint is almost empty. So I'm going to just do it piece by piece, and I'm going to take my time for it because here's also some texture on top, and then I hope it will look very nice. So I'm going to go over it and take my time for it. So all the pieces are in the paint. What I'm going to do right now, I have here my bag with my half wooden balls. What I'm going to do, I have 3 sizes. I have each 3 wooden half beads, but of course you can use cardboard and just make 3 bigger ones, 3 smaller ones, and 3 larger ones, but at least in 3 sizes. So I'm going to do some paint. I'm sorry for the noise. I'm going to do some painter's tape on the table, and at least if it works all right, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to cut it off. Oh, of course I place it this side on the table with the sticky side on top. And now I'm going to try to get it loose of me. I'm going to do one piece, place it over here, and one over here to make sure that they stick on my mat. So I'm going to place them over here. Of course I need to have a little space in between. This one, of course, over here, and 3 little ones. So you see, and now they can't go anywhere. So Patty, thank you again for your tip. I am really happy with it. So I'm going to use my darker orange color because I like a little bit of the rustic look. So I'm going to get my pencil, very easy, and I'm just going to easy paint my little wooden balls, and you maybe your cardboard. So I'm going to do this also very easy, and I'm going to let it dry in everything and make sure that everything is really dry before we're going to glue the head on top of the planter. So you see already, this is how the witch's head turned out. Of course, I hope you can see a little bit the spider web in the light. What I'm going to do, I place it on a piece of paper kitchen towel because I don't want to scratch the back side. I have here now my wooden half beads, and I'm just going to lay them dry where I think I want to have them. So I don't glue them yet because I want to be sure that I have them on the spot I like them. So I'm going to maybe over here, and this one over here. And that's the great, if you still do it dry, you can easily place them and think, oh, this is not totally for here, or maybe not for here. So I'm going to look for if I like this, or maybe it is too big, or we're going to do this one here and this one here, and maybe this here and this here. So I just play a little bit with it, and you can do that with your little cardboard around if you're going to use them. I think I like where mine is been now, where mine are placed right now. Oh my, oh my. I'm sorry. We are going to go further. I'm going to glue this on top, and then we're going to glue, of course, our head on our box. So now I did take my planter, and I'm going to do some wood glue on the underside of my head, of course, over here. And I'm just going to do a little line over here, and we're going to place it. Of course, I know you see it on the wrong side, but I'm going to squeeze it on top, make sure that I have it fitting nicely, and give it a little bit of pressure. Of course, I'm going to let this dry in at least for a half hour until an hour. So in the meantime, while our witch's head planter is drying, I have here my little stick for my broom. At least I'm going to make one on my own. I don't know how it will turn out. I have no idea. We will see how it will work. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use this very thick piece of rope, and I'm going to make, I think, kind of maybe 10 centimeters, a little bit more, 10 until 15 centimeters. I'm going to do, I think, now a couple of, maybe a little bit longer. I think 15 centimeters until 20, and I'm going to make at least, I think, 6 or 7 pieces of this size. I have to look, you see that in a moment how many. So here it is. It was a little bit harder because it was so tight to get it cut. I need another tool to cut this kind of rope because this is so thick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my hot glue. And I'm going to see already, and I did 20 centimeters, 11 pieces of 20 centimeters. And of course, you see already, this is really a little bit of the thicker rope. I think a lot of you buy them also at Dollar Tree, if I'm correctly, but maybe not everyone. But I'm going to go and I'm going to lay a piece of glue, just maybe a centimeter of 10, and I'm going to place this one against each other. So very easy. We're just going to glue them together, but in different sizes, because we always try to do it a little different than normally. And again, we glue this on this one over here, and we do some glue over here. Make sure that you have enough, and we go and place one over here and squeeze it. And of course, if you have a better way to make a broom, just do whatever you think it's right. I'm going to do again some glue over here. Oh, he doesn't want to get the glue. I'm going to get this one over here like this, and I'm going to squeeze it. And now I'm going to look for that I have it here not totally round, so I need one over here. You have to always look for that you get it as round as you can. So we go and we glue one over here, and we're going to let it dry in. And of course, this takes a little moment of your time, but I also wanted to show you this way, because this is probably not the normal way you normally make your piece. So I'm going to do now a little higher, and I place one over here, and I'm going to squeeze it until it is dried in. We do one over here, and we place again this one on this length, and again squeeze it. And this rope makes really a big mess. When you cut it, everything is under it. So if you have the same rope like I do, I also buy it over here in the Netherlands, and it is one big mess. So I hope you have better ones, because it is really messy. Maybe the next time I can better do it in the garage. So I'm going to go for this side, and I'll place this one also in this one. So you make two kind of layers. You do a couple of them, a couple of 5, maybe 5, 6 pieces, a little on same length, and this one you do a little higher. And now we do the last in the middle over here, and we do this way, and we place this one also over here. And now we're going to squeeze it like this. And what we're going to do, we're going to get our another piece of twine, but you see already this is a much smaller one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do some glue to make a start, and I'm going to place my twine on top of here to make the start to get my rounds. So I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of moments until it is really dried in, or else I'm going to pull, but everything will stop. So you see already. And I'm going to go around and around, kind of like this. So we get it almost even with the top layer, but I am already glued to the top layer. But so we're going to make sure over here, and now we go further to the top layer this way, and make sure, look also if you have open gaps or something like that. So for everyone who doesn't like to see how it is made, then maybe you can skip forward, because I understand if you don't like it. And of course here a couple of times, and then we're almost going to stop, and we're going to look where we are at the moment and what we need to readjust. We do a little glue over here, and we place the ending over here and here, and we're going to let this dry in for a little moment this way. And then we're going to peel out all the pieces, because you see, if you turn it, you can make 3 bundles out of it, you see. And even these bundles, you can even make them open, so you can make a lot of pieces. So I'm going to do this out of camera, because or else you get very bored. So what we're going to do, I'm going to glue the top. I'm just going to fill it up with some hot glue, and of course it needs to be a lot, because we need to press it on top of the bottom. So I hope that this will work, and I'm going to place this on top of here, and I'm going to let it dry in for a little moment, and this way. And then we go further with the twine. So we have it glued, we place it on the side, we do some glue over here, and we're going to place again a piece of twine over here and let it dry in until it is dried in, and that, so we can turn a couple of turns until it is the same size as my stick. So it's very easy to do, just let it dry in, because you don't want that it's, and just we're going to turn it, and of course we still have some glue on our, our fingers. So we're going to go, and we're going to make sure that we are going to glue everything. So again, do some glue over the twine, and make sure that the twine is hitting the glue. It is a little bit tricky, but just do whatever you think feels right. And of course, take your time for it. That's always the best. Just take your time. So I'm going to work my way around. Of course, this takes a lot of your time. You see in a moment how far I am. So you see already, this is how he's looking like right now, but I want to have him standing up. But if I do it now, you see already he's falling down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to look for the middle over here. I'm going to get 2 blocks. I'm going to give them some glue. Of course, I need a glue stick, or else it doesn't glue. I do some glue over here. Place them together. Let them dry in for a little moment. And you see already, I'm not used to hot glue anymore. I don't use it a lot anymore. So I'm going to make sure that everything is dried up, and then I'm going to glue a little glue on this side, and I'm now going to glue it in the middle, exactly over here, like this. You see, I'm going to do some glue each side of the block. And I'm going to place it over here in the middle, and I'm going to squeeze it, keep it in place for a little moment, and then you have a little stick inside so he can stand on his own. Of course, now we have our broom straight up, but what we're going to need, we need some ending over here because we don't like this. I have here a wooden button. He is fitting nicely over here. You can use a piece of cardboard, and I have here an ending I'm going to glue inside of here, and I'm going to paint it. I don't know if I'm going to paint it orange or maybe in the black color, so I will see. But first, of course, we're going to do some glue over here, and we make sure that we place it in the middle over here, and we're going to let it dry in. So you see already, I changed the color of the stick of the broom. It was dark brown. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. So I did it also in the black color, the same like I did the ending. And I did a little bit over this piece of the broom to give it a little bit more like the Halloween look. And then I'm going to get a spider, and I'm going to glue a spider on top of here. And this is a DIY on its own, of course. It was again bigger than I thought. I always make things bigger because I never know how it will turn out. And you see, I really don't know how it turned out. So I'm going to get a spider, and I'm going to glue this on top of here. And we're going to, when this is dry, we're going to make the ending of our broom. But it is a DIY on his own. So in the meantime, my broom is drying. I was looking at my planter, and I'm really happy with it, but I think he can use a little bit of decorating. So I'm going to look for if I have some wooden ladders where I can make Halloween or Boo or something else. I'm going to look for it, and maybe I'm going to do that in an orange color to let it come together again. So you see, I'm going to do the letter Boo. So only 3 letters. I'm going to take a little bit of the darker orange, and I'm going to paint them and glue them on top of our planter. So the last step we need to do, we need to cover up this ending of our broom, and I did this ending, and of course I did also a little bit of the orange dots on top of here. So I'm going to place this on top of here with some wood glue, but you see in a moment a quick impression. And here you see finally the quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks with this head planter, and of course the DIY for the broom. Of course, I hope you give this one a try. I had so much fun doing it, especially because you learned so much. I didn't make brooms a lot, so I learned a lot of the twine, the rope, and how thick it can be and how difficult to cut. I hope you give, like I told you, I hope you give this one a try. And everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Everyone who is here already for a long time, thank you so much for being here, spending a little moment of your day together with me. Everyone have an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.